It was strange.
It was very strange. Okay.
Okay, I started it.
All right. Yeah. So I got all of that stuff out of the way. There was just no way that I could be dodging boxes for the next couple of days. I couldn't do it.
I know. It drives me crazy to have stuff all around. And if
Mm-mm.
you're trying to, especially if you're trying to go into work like on a Monday and you're like, where the hell is my coffee pot? Like it's just so much
Exactly.
easier to have everything done and have it all organized. I get it. I totally get it. Because I'm too much of a Virgo. Hit the damn record and see
Hit
if we
the
can
damn
do.
record. See, we record something.
Yeah. Hola, who you bang, bang.
Premiumbeat.com.
Bang, bang.
A nice off the shoulder look today with
Yeah, I
this
see.
thing.
It's like you're a full disco. I love it.
Woohoo! Hey, friend.
Hey, friend.
Welcome to the Unlikely Friends podcast.
Where two friends living abroad talks about race relations, and
How we feel about it, what it means to us. Yeah,
exactly.
how we feel
So,
about it.
all of our friends watching on YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you know when we post a new video. So, ding, ding, baby, ding, ding.
Ding a ding. Um, my name is Desma,
And my name is David.
and
And if you are listening on any linear platforms, such as Spotify, you can also give us a like so that we know that we're doing a good job.
the algorithm gods will know what to do with your content.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
oh,
Absolutely.
hey, hey.
Turn anything into a song. So how
I'm
you doing,
always ready.
friend?
I'm good. I had a weird night. I mean, we talked about it. I think I had some sort of fever last night. But I feel okay. I feel all right. It's fine.
But
Just
like I
weird
said to you
things.
before,
Pe- Perimenopause is a thing, man, and my hormones are wild. They are wild, wilding out,
wilding out.
and it will do weird things to my body. And one of them is wake. If you wake up, you can't go back to sleep, or I just can't sleep sometimes. So luckily, I have some assistance in that. I am able to sleep now, but there have been periods of time and hot flashes. Forget about it. Forget about it. Forget about it. No, I posted something on social media the other day. There was a woman that was sitting, it looked like she was at a football game, and her head, well, I mean, steam was coming off of her head. She was like, I am so hot. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's me. That's me in the summertime. When I try to tell people I'm hot, I'm hot.
But you
But
know
like
what?
steam was coming off her head. Bless
Men
her
go through
heart.
that too.
Mm.
Men go through that too because there are some, not as often as women, I don't think, but men go through that too. Like one time, it was so funny, Des. I think I sent you a message about this.
I think you did. Yeah.
I had a hot flash, and I was like, "Whoo! Who turned up the heat?" I was sitting there minding my own business with my glasses on, right? Then all of a
Mm.
sudden, my glasses steamed up. I was like, "What is going?"
Why am I so hot?
It was so funny, and I was
Oh gosh.
roasting. I was literally on fire. I was like, "What is going on?" And then I said to
Yeah.
myself, "Now I know what women go through." I had a heat flash. It just came out of
Yeah.
nowhere. It's like a heat wave. Heat wave.
Mhm. It was. I mean, that's how it feels, definitely. So,
Anyway, my
hmm.
moving saga is
Yeah. How's your
over.
house?
But here's
Hmm.
the tea.
Okay. I'm ready. Oh my God. The slurping. Those people
You
that
so
have
nasty.
audio, those people that have audio issues are going to be like, "Ugh."
this apartment that I'm in, I
Mm,
like the apartment. It's a, one bedroom, living room, kitchen. Kitchen is open plan.
that's nice.
There is the entry level apartment, which is you don't
Mhm.
have to climb up any stairs. You just open a door, walk into the corridor, you're straight into
Lovely.
the apartment, and then you go
Mhm.
on the stairs of the house are on the outside, not on the inside of the apartment. So you
Huh,
go
yeah.
up the outstairs, the outside stairs to the
Right.
to the first floor, and then you go up to the second floor on these outside stairs. Now, the one that I live in, I live on the ground floor. The one in the middle is empty, and the one at the top, the owner lives in, but not live in because he only comes here on vacation because he lives in Austria.
Mm.
He's only here like twice a year, if that. So I'll have this
Oh,
whole
nice. Yeah.
complex, yeah, building complex to myself. He just told me today, he said to me, he
Mm,
says, and he doesn't speak English and he doesn't
mm.
speak Turkish. He's not Turkish. I didn't know that he wasn't
Where
Turkish.
is he
He's,
Yeah.
hold on, no, that's not true. He's Turkish, but he doesn't speak Turkish.
Huh, okay.
Their family is from, I think he said, Serbia or Croatia, something like that.
Okay.
So they're like these Balkan Turks, Göçmen, they
Yeah.
call them.
Okay.
So this whole area that I live in, they're all from Albania, Bosnia, Herzegovina, Serbia, Croatia,
Mhm,
but they are
mhm,
Turks. This is all from the Ottoman Empire, leftover Turks, if you will. This whole area that I live in.
mm.
So he told me today, he says, you're such a good person, and I like you so much, and he says, I know that you're going to do wonderful things with that apartment. He says, but I do remember you telling me that the apartment was a little bit dark. And the apartment that I am in is a little bit dark because it is at the
Mm.
bottom of the building, and then there's a tall
Yeah.
building to the right, and there's a tall building in the back. So there's no,
Yeah.
and because of the
It's
stairwell
hard to get natural
outside
light.
of the house, there's no real direct sunlight. The only direct sunlight is I get is from the street, in my
Okay.
sleeping room, actually.
Okay.
So he said to me, he says, if you want, he says, move into the first floor. He says,
Really?
yeah, he says, if you want to move into the first floor, move into the first floor. And then I thought about it. I said, you know what? I would have to pack everything back up and move everything to oh, God, no.
No?
No, no, not for all the sunlight in the world, Des. I can't. I got
Okay.
too
Fair enough.
much stuff to move again. And like
Yeah.
moving twice in 1 week, no, ma'am. No.
Mhm.
I'll
I
stay
got you.
where I am. If it's a little bit dark, it's a
Yeah.
little bit dark.
Yeah. I mean, well, and maybe 6 months down the line, if that place is not rented, maybe you can say, "Okay, you know what? I would like more light." Who knows?
Well,
You
he
never
told
know.
me. He says, if you would, he says, he'll be here for the next 14 days. He says, if
Mhm.
you change your mind, he says, I'll be more than happy to give you that apartment.
Okay.
He says,
But I
or
can
he says,
understand. I mean, it's a lot to move. I know.
and then
I
up the
know.
stairs, and oh, geez, no, I can't. I
I
cannot be
know.
bothered.
When I moved here, I had more than what I thought. It's crazy. When you start putting things into boxes, you realize how much crap you have. And now, like we were saying before, I didn't own anything like moving into this apartment. Now I own a refrigerator and a dishwasher and a washing machine and like two beds, a sofa. Like these are all the things that I actually own versus like the place that I was living in for a long time. Everything was provided. It's just part of the
Right.
contract, my school, whatever. But now I own a lot of things and I can't imagine having to move twice
It's just a little bit too stressful.
in
And
a
I
week.
thanked him so
That's a
much.
lot.
I thanked him so much. I was like, thank you so, 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 so much. He's like, he says, no, he says, I want you to be happy here. He says, because you're a really nice person. I really like you and blah, blah, blah.
Mm,
And he says, I
that's
want you
nice.
to, yeah, it was very, very nice of him. It was very, very sweet of him. He says, I want you to live your best life, he says, I would like you to stay here for a long time. And I was like, oh, thank you. That's nice.
Well, and the advantage of having that downstairs, you said you have a little garden.
I do have a garden and I didn't want to give that
So,
up. Even
right?
though also the garden doesn't get a whole lot of light, but in the summertime I'll be able to sit outside, you know?
It's still a garden. You can still
Yeah,
have.
exactly. Can before we start that, can we just talk about how
Yeah.
shiny I am? Woo.
Listen, for the people that are listening, his skin looks great.
I am
What are you
good
using?
and shiny. It
I've
is a
got some
new cream.
products here
It is a
if you want
cream.
to do show and tell.
It is a cream that I bought in South Korea. I didn't buy it in South Korea. I bought it from one of my South Korean students. It's
Listen,
called,
they do skincare. They know what they're doing.
yeah, and this stuff is the bomb,
Definitely.
and it was expensive. That's the
Ooh.
name of it. I don't know if you can see it, Atom,
Oh, okay. All right. All right.
and it is.
Does
It
it make your
is.
skin feel so good?
Yeah, I just it's my skin is so smooth. It's really, 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 really good. If anybody, so shout out to this company because my student's family actually owns this company. So shout out to my student.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's nice. That's so
please get this
nice.
cream. It is so is not a lot in there. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
There's not a lot in there, and there doesn't have to be a lot. I mean, I usually use literally this much for my
Like
whole
a half
face.
of a, yeah, like a half of a pea.
Yeah,
Like
for
a
my
half of a
whole
green
face.
pea.
And look how shiny I am. Seriously.
You are shining like the top of the Empire State Building.
Really.
Or is it the
I am.
Chrysler Building? The Chrysler Building is the one that's like the
I think
shiny
they
one,
both,
right?
yeah, I think they both shine though. It doesn't matter. That's how shiny I
Uh,
am today. And I'm here for it.
well,
So this is
you look
this is a
healthy.
follow up. This is a follow up to your lotions and potions.
Well, I've got all of mine here because I was like, if we get to a point where, we want to have a show and tell, I have a problem. Like
Oh, show me what you got.
I have all kinds of different things. So, gosh, what do we start with? We start with a wash. So this is what I usually do. And I worked for the Body Shop skin and hair care when I was young. I was a teenager, and I eventually went into management with them. And I loved the company and I loved their products, and I still use them on occasion. But it really kind of like put me into the skincare realm, and I really nerded out on it. But I wash my face, and then I use a toner, and then I use serum, and then I use cream, and sometimes I use like a oil.
My
So
God,
there's a lot.
you're keeping Saudi Arabia in business.
Is that where everything is made? No, I don't
Well, I
think
don't
so.
know all that oil. I mean,
Oh, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I like this stuff, and it makes me feel good. And it's also kind of a meditation. Like, when you're in the shower and, at the end of the day, you're washing your face and you're doing everything. It's
yeah.
kind of like I'm meditating, and I know that I'm taking care of myself and doing something that makes me feel good. So that's, I mean, that's what we
Well,
should
that's
be doing
important,
for
though. I
ourselves,
mean,
right? Yeah, for
um,
sure.
when we spoke last time about what brand I use, and I told you Revlon. It wasn't
Yeah.
Revlon. It's
Oh,
Avon.
Avon.
Avon, and I'll tell you
Wow.
why I started using
Talk about a
Avon
shout
because
out.
yeah, because one of the women that I work with, she works in the tea kitchen at my
Hmm.
job. You know, she doles
Yeah,
out tea
yeah.
for everybody. And she said to me, she's like, she said, teacher, if there's anybody that you know that wants to, buy Avon, let me know. I'm selling Avon. And I'm like, Who's still selling Avon?
Yeah. Do you remember any of those? Like, did you
My
ever
mom used
go
to
to
sell
a party?
Avon.
Really?
Yes.
God, that's
She used to have like
crazy.
Tupperware and Avon parties and all that good stuff. Yes.
Whoa. Yeah,
Yes.
I definitely remember Avon parties as a kid, and I really thought they were cool. They were so exciting because you could get like little samples of like
Little samples.
lipstick
Yeah. Well,
and
I mean, we
stuff.
weren't allowed to attend, but I remember my mom having those
Oh my
and all those
gosh.
Tupperware parties and all that good stuff. And so, uh, uh, I saw she, and I said to her, I says, I don't want to order anything. She says, there's nothing in here. I said, there's nothing in here for men. And she opened her bag. She was like, yes, there is. She handed me this pamphlet, stuff only for men from Avon. And I was like, oh, okay.
They've stepped up their game. I did
They
not
stepped up
know.
their game. Yes, they did. So,
Huh.
I ordered the face scrub or mask. I ordered the face scrub mask.
Sounds lovely.
I ordered the skin toner. I ordered the uh there was something hydro whatever something anti puffiness and all that good stuff. I bought it all. I must have spent at that time I must have spent upwards of like 800 lira on face stuff,
Yeah.
which I don't use consistently and every day. So
Mm.
it's lasted a long time. This cream, I've had this, no lie, no lie, Desma. I've had this for about 6 years.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still good.
No, it's still good. It's still good.
But look, on some of your products, I don't know if you know this, but for example, this one has a little teeny, it's like a little teeny bowl, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
it's open, like a little
Mm-hmm.
container and it's open. And it says 12M. That means you need to use it in 12 months.
All right, let me see what this says.
I'm so curious.
It doesn't
Does it
say anything.
It doesn't say anything. Well, maybe
No.
you can. As long as it's okay and it doesn't smell funky, I guess that's
It
okay.
smells divine.
Oh, well, okay.
And look at my face. Look how shiny I am. I mean, I'm
I
not going to
mean,
turn green. Oh, actually, it does say something. It says shelf
uh-oh.
life.
Shelf life 2 months.
Jesus, it says shelf life 2 years. And I've had
2
it longer
years.
than 2 years. And
That's
it
that
still
little trick
works.
I didn't realize, I didn't know actually, like until I started watching these like skincare videos, whatever, like you see that information. Then it's like, oh yeah, I've had this for like 3 years. Maybe I need to toss it. I mean, makeup is the same. I think makeup even has that little container with the months
Yeah.
and stuff.
You have to do that with cream based, like if you're putting on foundation that's cream based and things like that. You gotta
Mascara.
rotate that. Yeah, you gotta rotate that stuff out. You
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah,
can't.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
just a breeding ground for bacteria. That's nasty.
It gets yuck.
um it gets yucks. It's very difficult here in Turkey to buy creams and foundations for my skin color. You can
Yeah,
find it,
what
but it's not easy.
where? Where would you
um
find it?
if I'm
I've been
lucky,
curious about this.
yeah, if I'm lucky, they'll have it at Sephora if I'm lucky. So for me to buy something like that and then let it sit around for 6 months, that's a
Mm.
waste of money.
Do you when you do commercials, I mean, this is something I just guessed, people they have like makeup people there for
They
commercials.
do have makeup people there, but usually not for people like me, unfortunately.
Yeah, I wondered about that. And that commercial that you did, I wondered
Yeah.
about that because I was like, I wonder if everybody brought their own foundation, their own makeup.
They actually told everybody
Mm.
not to wear makeup. They says we don't want anybody wearing
Oh,
makeup. Yeah, nobody wore makeup that day. Nobody.
well, I mean, I know you were supposed to be. I get the reasoning why, but
Hmm.
I mean, sometimes you don't want to look as shiny or whatever it is, like whatever thing that you want to cover up,
And that was the
makeup is for.
That was the best day of my life. I was like, oh, a commercial shoot where I don't have to wear makeup.
Seen a handful of people in Istanbul. Um, People that are not people of color wearing dreads and braids and that kind of thing. I wondered how you I had a feeling you would feel like this, but how do you feel about that? And
You know what? Um,
you know what?
I'm going to approach it from two directions.
Hmm. Okay.
Some people say, oh, it's culture appropriation. Some people
Right.
say, let people wear what they want to wear.
Hmm.
I am in the camp of, look, you do you. Wear what you want to wear, but you look ridiculous.
There was somebody that I saw and they were in, it was like a really busy touristy area of Istanbul called Beyoğlu. And I was walking and it was multicolored, black and white mixed color, like, and I thought, huh, where did they? And I think I had a conversation with someone, and then you know how your phone always picks up everything. And there was an ad that came up on my Instagram, like where I could go get braids if I wanted to get them
Oh,
here.
good God.
I know. And I was like, what? And I thought, who is doing this? And I wonder if anybody's had a conversation with them that's like, let me teach you something. Like, I don't know. Like, dreadlocks? How do you feel about dreadlocks?
I'm going to approach it from the other direction.
Okay.
For well on 100 and 150 years, uh, black women in the United States were not allowed to wear their natural hair.
Right.
So they always had to like straighten their hair somehow with these permanent straightening
Mhm.
creams and all that good stuff, or wear a wig. Most of
Yeah.
these women, most black women back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, they wore wigs, most of them, because it was not acceptable to have natural hair for black people. And
Who
listen,
cares?
that's why they passed, I think they passed it like a year or
That's
2 years
wild
ago,
to me.
or maybe even 3 years ago. I have to look it up. It was called the Crown Act.
Now, I have heard about that, and I've heard about and there was a boy recently that was
Yeah, he had
expelled, I
dreadlocks. Yeah,
think,
yeah,
and
yeah.
he had dreads, and I'm like, why is that such a big flippin' deal? Like, who cares? Like,
White people care
well, I
because it's
obviously,
because it's
yeah.
radical to them. That's why.
It's completely ridiculous. It's like you might as well tell people that they can't wear stripes or polka dots or whatever. I mean, whatever you decide to do and put on your body, it's your choice. Like, for goodness sake, who cares? I didn't.
It says here. Hold on. Mm,
Cheese, cheese and crackers,
cheese and rice. So it
cheese and
says
rice.
here, the Crown, which is an acronym for Create a Respectful and Open Workplace for Natural Hair Act, SS188, is a California law which prohibits discrimination based on hairstyle and hair texture by extending protection under the FEHA and the California Education Code. It is the first
When?
legislation passed in the state level in the United States to prohibit such discrimination. The Crown
Mm,
Act was drafted and sponsored in the state Senate by Holly Mitchell, which was passed unanimously in both chambers in the California legislation in June 27th, 2019, and was signed into law on July 3rd, 2019. Yes. The Crown
I'm so
Act was
sorry.
subsequent.
I thought this was like I had no idea how recent this is.
Yeah, I thought it was like 2 or 3 years ago, but it was 2019. And
No,
then it
no, I
says,
thought it was, like, in the '90s or something. Oh my
no,
god.
no. And then it goes on, it says the
Where have
Crown
I been?
here. And then it says the Crown Act was subsequently adopted in New York, New Jersey, New York City, Washington, Maryland, Nevada, Virginia, Colorado, Texas, Massachusetts, and Michigan, while Illinois adopted a similar law titled the Jet Hawkins Law and expanded those protections by enacting the Crown Act effective January 1st, 2023, last year, which amended the Illinois Human Rights Act. And then it says the Federal Crown Act
Oh
on
my god.
September 21st, 2020. The U.S. House of Representatives passed the Crown Act of 2020, which failed to pass Senate. The bill was then reintroduced in March 22nd, 2021, and the House Senate simultaneously as the Crown Act of 2021 was passed and the House passed by the House on the March of 18th in 2022. It became uh, it became a law.
That's just so ridiculous. I mean, obviously, it has to be there for a reason. You know, we have to have this law because people are wildly discriminated against
Well,
because of however the hell they wanna wear their hair.
black
Like,
hair
for
was
goodness
always
sake.
seen as radical. It was always seen as radical, and we can't help what grows out of our scalp.
Right,
How is what
right.
grows out of our scalp radical? What made it uh, more radical, I should say, was before the 60s, they didn't think it was radical, but they just didn't think that white people didn't think that black hair was beautiful. And we were always taught that
Mm,
our hair was,
right.
good hair, bad hair with black people. It's like if you had looser hair, you had good hair. If your hair was more
Mm,
kinky or coily, you had bad hair. So a lot of
mm.
women would straighten their hairs with chemicals and, or,
Yeah,
straightening, those hot straightening combs and all that
yeah,
good
yeah.
stuff, or they would iron their hair. So they would, what black women would literally torturing their hair to have straight hair. And that's still, I mean, if you think about it today, lots of black women still straighten their hair. Now, the
Mm,
reason why I say that, because we are not born with naturally straight hair. I mean, some of us are born with either curly or straight hair, but very, very rarely.
mm,
We are appropriating European culture, if you want to look at it that way, So that's why I don't say so much about people who have white people who
mm.
have dreadlocks or white people who have braids. It's like, look, do you? It looks horrible, but if you like it, I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I yeah,
In the
I have
60s, black hair was looked at as radical because, of the Black Panther movement where they had afros, and that was
yeah,
radical for them. They were like, Black Panthers, or they all have afros, they must be terrorists. So
dangerous,
yeah.
yeah. To ask you about, I don't know his name, um, but the comedian that was at the Trump rally.
Oh
And the things that he said, and I think there was a mention about watermelon. I mean,
yeah,
I how how I mean, I
let
can
me
guess
tell you
how you
something.
feel about somebody saying something along the lines of watermelon to I can't even. It's just
His That was his name, Hinchcliffe, Tony Hinchcliffe.
I think he did it for like clicks and likes. And, if you say something super controversial, then people are going to be like, ooh, he's the hot
What,
topic
let
of
me
the
tell you
day.
something. I don't have anything against a slightly racist joke if it's funny. I mean, there are some racist jokes that are funny. Let's be real. There are some. He is what we call, or what I call, a professional roaster. He will roast the hell out of you
Hmm.
about your sexuality, about your
I don't
appearance,
know. I
about
didn't know who he was, actually. I've never.
he's a roaster. People know him as a
Okay.
roaster.
Okay.
He will roast you on anything, and it's usually funny. It's supposed to be, if you go there for a roasting, you expect to get dragged that day, so you can't
Right.
catch an attitude, you can't get angry or anything like that. You go in
Right.
there knowing that you're going to get dragged that day, so you have to
Hmm.
take everything with a grain of salt. And he's a professional dragger. Okay, he will
Okay.
drag you, but that was a rally. It was not
Mm.
a roasting. So the
Yeah.
jokes that he brought to a rally,
Which, I mean, let's be honest, there are some people that, I mean, they're bad. They're bad people everywhere. Like, it doesn't matter. I'm not
of
saying
course.
anybody's bad or good. I'm just saying that uh, there are some people that have strong beliefs about people that don't look like themselves in that crowd. Um, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
But you can't roast people at a rally. You can't roast people at like a
read
whole
read
group
the
of people.
room.
And what angered me a little bit, not even a little bit, what angered me a lot was
Mm,
that person who sponsored it did not even apologize. He just said, "Oh, I don't know who he
yeah.
is." Bro, you know exactly who he is. Oh, I didn't watch it. You watched every second of it. There is nothing that happens at your rally that you don't know
Mm,
about. That's lies and fairy tales, bruh. Lies.
right.
So
Right.
I was just so appalled. I wasn't appalled that this guy made the joke. It was par
Right.
for the course for him. I was appalled. No apology was issued about it. No
Yeah.
apology.
Thank you for listening, everybody. Thank you for joining us on this unlikely journey.
Yeah, thank you everybody so much. And again, if you are watching on YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you know
Ding
when we
ding.
post. You get a notification. Ding, ding, baby. Ding, ding.
Follow us on Spotify and leave some lovely comments if you want to leave a lovely comment, please.
Yeah,
And
let the algorithm gods know that we are doing a good job.
yeah, and they'll know exactly what to do with you and your content. But
Exactly.
hey, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.